Welcome back to the Ancestral Findings Podcast. If you are researching your incarcerated ancestors or are curious as to whether you have any that you didn't know about before, these are some excellent online resources that can assist you in locating the information you need. Make use of them. They will get you where you need and want to go with your genealogy. Are you interested in looking up prison records for your ancestors? You don't have the time or wherewithal to go to old prisons and archives in person to look up such records? That's perfectly okay. The good news is that there are plenty of places online where you can look up such records. You can also call, email, or write to any record repository that has prison records and ask them to do a search for you and send you copies. Sometimes these places will do it for a small fee, and sometimes they will do it for free. With all the resources that are available online, though, there is usually not a reason for you to travel to or contact places all over the country to obtain the prison records of your ancestors. In fact, there are several excellent websites online that specialize in compiling, storing, and indexing old prison records. If you're interested in finding these records on your ancestors, or even in finding out if any of your ancestors were ever in prison, these are the websites that you will want to explore. Online websites to look up prison records for your genealogy. At PACER.gov, you can find records for all federal bankruptcy and appellate cases. This can be useful for looking up the case of an ancestor or current relative who has or had a criminal case on appeal with the U.S. government. There's a fee to use this site and access records, but it's worth it to find the information you need. Also, the fee is pretty nominal, and it is used to keep the site open for everyone to use. It's a win-win for all the genealogists out there in the online world. Old Bailey Online. Many people in America have ancestry going back to England. If you do, and are interested in crimes your ancient ancestors may have committed and been in prison for in the old country, this is the site to go to. It's located at oldbaileyonline.org. This incredible database includes the records of nearly 20,000 criminal trials that were held at the Central Criminal Court of London, called the Old Bailey, between 1674 and 1913. It's a free resource to use. You will find that the cases that came up before the Old Bailey include extremely petty crimes and huge crimes, too. You will also find a variety of punishments and penalties doled out to those who were found guilty, from prison to fines to exile to Australia or the American colonies. In fact, you might be able to connect a criminal ancestor in England to do their new life in America, bridging the gap between the two countries. Did that ancestor continue their criminal ways in the colonies, or were they reformed? It's a fascinating thing to discover. The Federal Bureau of Prisons. This website is maintained by the U.S. federal government and is free to use. It is located at bop.gov. It contains the records of inmates at federal prisons from 1982 to the present. This is a great website to use when looking up criminal or potential criminal records on more recent ancestors. Some of the ancestors you find there might even still be in this life today, or a currently living relative could perhaps have known them personally. It's a great place to uncover recent family secrets, or to find out more information about a person that you knew was in prison, but don't have a lot of details on. Our Criminal Ancestors. This free website, located at ourcriminalancestors.org, is an excellent resource for any genealogist researching criminals in the family tree. It largely ignores the notorious type of criminal cases and focuses instead on garden variety, everyday crimes. The website includes illustrated how-to guides, timelines, and case studies useful for anyone who is researching common, everyday crimes. It essentially shows you how to properly use criminal and prison records to trace a case, including the use of census records, newspaper records, and local court records to get the full picture of a criminal story. You will also find a treasure trove of information on things like the history of policing, physical punishments, like whipping or flogging, and justice for juveniles. Cindy's List. This classic genealogy website goes back practically to the beginning of the internet. There is a section on it about prisons, prisoners, and outlaws. It is located at cyndislist.com. I'm going to spell that again for you. cyndislist.com. There you will find an abundance of links to all kinds of mostly undiscovered gems of websites that discuss crime, prisons, and prisoners in America and around the globe. If you're looking for prison records for a certain place or time period, or just looking for general information on tracing ancestors with prison records, this is an excellent one-stop shop of links for you to leisurely peruse. Familysearch.org. This famous free genealogical database has a section on prisons and prisoners. It is formatted in a wiki format, so the table of contents is at the top of the page and is clickable to the section that you want to use. It is an in-depth guide to looking for your incarcerated ancestors in the records, what records are available in what locations, what to do to access these records, and what you may find in the records when you locate them. It's a great jumping-off point for doing prison record research in the field, and not online. Use it to put together your real-world prison record research plan and guide. It will take you far and will become a handy go-to for wherever you need to research this type of record. Whether you know you have ancestors who were incarcerated or just want to look around to discover if you do, these resources will assist you in locating the information you need. Make use of them. Those black sheep ancestors deserve to have their stories uncovered and told to the world too, blemishes and all. You know they would probably want it that way. Many thanks for listening to and following the Ancestral Findings podcast. Visit ancestralfindings.com to download a free genealogy ebook, inquire about a free genealogy lookup, and register for the weekly historical postcard giveaway. And thank you to everyone who contributes via Patreon. It helps keep this train on the track, this dirigible in the air, and this boat on the water. I hope you have a wonderful day, and happy searching.